Welcome back to Small Caps, ladies and gentlemen. Today I've asked Todd Williams to come and join me. He's the Managing Director of E2 Metals over there in Argentina. Now, ASX code E2M. Why am I bringing Todd back? Because it's been a while since we've spoken. They've just done a capital raise. And my goodness me, what you're going to hear, because somebody's got involved with this company that pricked my ears up and I went, this person's no fool. So sit back and have a listen because there's some really interesting updates. Todd, great to see you. Thanks for coming back to Small Caps.
Yeah, thanks, Kerry. And I guess good morning and to you and all the listeners out there in the Small Caps universe. I guess just by way of background, for those who haven't been following the E2 Metals story, look, we're in the Santa Cruz province of Argentina. We're over there because we like the geology. There's some really big gold and silver projects over there. And I guess the classic is Rio Negro, which was discovered by Andean Resources and sold to Goldcorp for $3.4 billion in 2010. So that's really why we're there. That's the size of the prize. I guess in terms of what we've been doing, we've picked up the ground along trend from another world-class vein field in Serra Vanguardia. Now, that vein field, I guess, has produced just under sort of 9 million ounces of gold and 140 million ounces of silver, and it's sort of 20-year mine life. And, we picked up the covered extension of that vein field a couple of years ago. And, in November 2020, we really put the company on the map with a new greenfields discovery at Mia, which the announcement, I guess, was 18 metres at 49 grams gold and over 200 grams silver. So that really put us on the map. And, fast forward 18 months, we've done a lot of work. We've now shown that Mia is not an isolated occurrence. It's actually within a large district, all partially covered. To date, we've defined mineralisation over 25 square kilometres. This includes 6 mineralised corridors. And we've just put out a new, really exciting drill hit for our new Malvina discovery, 14 metres at just under 9 grams gold and 2.5 kilos silver. So, by far some of the best silver hits you'll see on the ASX. And, we think when we look back at 2022, that'll be one of the better greenfield discovery hits globally for all sort of gold and silver exploration. So look, that's why we're excited, and that's a bit of an update, or I guess a summary of the company and what we've been up to.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring you back on, because very strong high grade hits in both gold and when you said that a minute ago, 2 kilos of gold, it's just like this.
2.5 kilos, Kerry.
Sorry, 2.5 kilos even. This is massive. But you've just done a capital raise. So I wanted to bring you on to find out a little bit more about why now for the capital raise and what you're going to be doing with those funds, because you're now well funded to continue, I guess, to unlock the value in this district.
Yeah, no, that's right. So I guess, we're really excited to announce that we've just closed an $8 million financing net of fees. That was managed by 2 great firms in Taylor Collison's here in Australia and Sprott over in North America. And, whilst, the share price probably isn't where we want it to be and the market's, a bit volatile, I guess the 3 key points for that capital raise was, firstly, it really strengthens our financial position and gives us, sort of circa $13 million in the bank, which is enough to see us out in the foreseeable future, and also, helps to future-proof our organisation in this sort of times of uncertainty, if you can put it that way. Secondly, we're really pleased to say that this was a sort of institution-led raise, which means that, we had quite a lot of demand from high-quality instos sort of tapping us on the shoulder. And, we're pleased to sort of say that 70% of the book was institutional investors, and, the net ownership of institutional owners in E2 has sort of increased from, let's call it circa 8% to sort of just under 30%. So, it was really quite an important step for us in strengthening that register and moving away from, what really is a sort of retail dominant register. But, I guess the big news, the exciting news is that Eric Sprott, the very famous resource investor, has personally invested $3 million himself. And, for those who I guess, live under a rock here in Australia. He's kind of like the Elon Musk of gold and silver. So, when Eric becomes the major shareholder of any company, I think that's a major endorsement to the quality of the assets, the team, and also the value proposition that the company presents. So, look, we're really pleased to have Eric and the rest of the group on board.
And I think that's really important for people to know. There's a lot of companies out there. Eric Sprott's no fool. It's important for people to understand this is his own personal money that he's put in. It's not Sprott, the company. It's Eric has gone and taken a look and gone, Now, not financial advice. Go do your own research. But Eric has clearly done his research and likes what E2M are discovering over there in that province, in the Santa Cruz province. Is the Sprott Group going to be having any sort of board position or any input, because they're loving what you're doing? What's the relationship like going forward?
Look, I think it's very much just a passive investment at this point. We know that Eric's financially very stable, and an investment in E2. I think he's quite happy to be hands off and let us get on with it. And the reality is what it sort of does for the company is it creates that linkage or that bridge into the North American market. And there's no better way to get North American eyeballs on your stock than get one of the most renowned resource investors on the register as a major shareholder. And I guess why it was important for us to do that is, the reality is the TSX is home to all the preeminent silver gold development stories, companies like Silvercrest, Mag Silver. These are exceptional companies that have created exceptional growth, market capitalizations of sort of circa $1 billion. And look, we just don't see that on the ASX. And I think, the reason for Eric's participation and Sprott's participation is really, I guess they see that valuation gap between E2 on the ASX and some of the North American peers, if I can put it that way, where, obviously these types of deposits are better understood.
Yeah, because your market cap, I just want people, so they don't have to look it up, your market cap's about 28-30 mil. So as a comparison, gold and silver in ground doesn't really change, but as a peer comparison, there's potentially a lot to come, if that makes sense.
Yeah, look, if we want to talk about the sort of re-rate potential, we've, Silvercrest is distinguished by exceptionally high grade. They've got about 90 million ounces of silver, which is sort of just north of 1 million ounces gold equivalent, but at an exceptional grade, just sort of around that sort of 870 grams silver equivalent. But, what's really important is it's quite a small, modest resource. It's only 3 million tonne. Which is not a lot of rock, as you know, Kerry. So the point there is, E2's got a $28 million market cap, or low 30s, depending on what day you look. And we've got a grade profile at Mia and Malvina that's very similar to Silvercrest. We're a long trend from a world-class gold and silver district.
Yeah.
And so for us, all we really need to do is we've sort of answered the opportunity around, does Conserrat host a new gold and silver district? We've answered the question around the grade profile. Really, all we need to do now is answer the question around scale. And we believe that there's a significant re-rate potential there. And, as I said, Silvercrest, sort of $1.6 billion company, that's sort of 60-fold where we sit today. So, I think that sort of speaks to some of the mispricing that we see in junior land. You're sort of either priced to someone that's not quite made it, or you're a market darling and there's nothing in between.
Yeah. Okay. What my audience will want to know is you've raised 8, you've got 13 in the bank. It's all about getting this resource and I guess showing the value and the size of the prize, if you like. So what are you going to do with the funds? How quickly are you going to do it? How many rigs have you got on site? Where's it going to go?
Yeah, that's right. I guess, we're still trying to plan the details around drill rigs and sourcing rigs and drill programs, etc. Because, I'm sure you can appreciate that all of this happened really quickly. And, the reality is we've got a sort of annualised budget. We've got a plan to spend about $7 million this year, which will, obviously continue the work that we've been doing, obviously maintaining the same sort of rhythm that we have been for the past 12 months. And, you know, in our mind, we've got a fairly clear understanding of what we need to do. And that's, you know, we need to find, you know, one or two more of these Malvina, Mia type vein structures. And really, there is no simple solution to it, just focusing on really good process, generating your targets, getting out there, doing work. And, you know, just by way of example, last quarter, Q4 2021, you know, we tested 10 regional targets. We made 4 new discoveries defined as, you know, a drill hit of 20 grade thickness, GT or more. And, you know, the standout there was Andreas Sir with 16 meters at 15 grams gold. So, you know, I guess what we've shown is that the project responds really well to drilling. It responds really well to exploration. And, you know, we're, you know, completely convinced that there's more out there to find, and we just got to, you know, get out there and do it.
Yeah, and so I want a visual, if you could, for my audience. The size of the prize, do you think that this is fairly consistent, the grade, and how deep? So how deep is it? How consistent is it? Or is it fairly lumpy? If that's not really a technical term, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, look, I guess the unfortunate truth is that epithermal vein systems, you know, they're fairly tough to explore for. And, you know, what people need to visualize is that you have these mineralized corridors. Within those corridors, you have veins, and within those veins, you have high-grade shoots. And those high-grade shoots host, you know, 95% of the mineralization, but, you know, that they may only represent 5% of the volume of rock. So really, it's quite a simple process of, you know, understanding where your mineralized corridors are. You know, we've done that. We've defined 6 new mineralized corridors in the past 12 months. So we've sort of got a feeling of where we need to look, or the sandbox that we need to play in. And then it really just becomes a process of systematically running along those corridors and vectoring into, you know, higher grades, which could lead you to the discovery of new shoots. And so, yeah, look, that's the process. It's all about sequential volume reduction and you know, finding more of these really high grade shoots, which, you know, show they've got a propensity to host a huge amount of ounces. Yeah,
but there's because epithermal, as you say, it's finding those shoots. But you're finding, in your opinion, are you finding more than you thought were going to be there? In other words, when you first got into this district, this province, whatever you want to call it, did you think that you would find the high grades that you are finding, and as many? Because it seems to be unlocking. Because sometimes you can find a high grade shoot, but they're not that common. But it seems to me that you keep on finding them.
Yeah, look, I guess, you know, just to underscore my point, I think the project does respond really well to exploration. You know, what's really pleasing about Conserrat is that, you know, that bonanza type mineralisation that we've discussed at Mia and Malvina, it generally sits within the sort of top 125 vertical meters. And, you know, okay, that's distinct from other projects in the province where the sort of high grade zones can be deeper, sort of, you know, 100 to 150 meters below the surface. And so, you know, the distinction there is that not only are the best grades accessible via open pits, but they're really easy to discover via cheap, inexpensive shallow RC drilling. So, you know, I guess that's the key distinction. That's probably what we're most pleased about, is that, you know, just that sort of distribution of grade in that top 100 vertical meters.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important point to make, because when it comes to the economics of the project, we're not there yet, but when it does come to that, the fact that you've got this high grade, the fact that it is close to surface is all going to help when it comes to the ultimate prize, which is getting it out of the ground and bringing in the revenue. Now, yeah, that's right. Todd, one of the things that you haven't spoken about, I don't know whether you're trying to hide it from me or not, is Rio Negro. Last time we spoke, it was a little bit of we've got this other project out there, but my little spies tell me that this is proving to be yet another potential big win.
Yeah, no, look, it's really exciting. It's sort of proving to be a real free spin for E2 and its shareholders. You know, Rio Negro was sort of, last time we spoke in, I think it was mid-2021 last year, it was just basically an idea and a blank canvas where we went out into this new area in the western part of the Rio Negro province. We really liked the geology, and we sort of formed a positive view on the potential of that area for intrusion-related gold systems. And, I guess those systems are some of the largest in the world, Donlin Creek in North America, Hemi in the Pilbara.
Yep.
These are really big systems. And what we've done is we've consolidated the entire belt. So we control, about 100 kilometres strike of a really important structure and geological belt. And, now one of the first projects that we've actually systematically worked, El Rosillo, is putting out some really nice surface grades. So some of the trench results that we've put out recently, a metre at 279 grams gold, 3 metres at 113 gold. I think that really speaks to the potential there for a new intrusion-related gold district. So I guess for us, Rio Negro is becoming a bit of a, we talk about a district play at Conserrat. That's becoming a bit of a belt play at El Rosillo and surrounds. And that's a very exciting proposition.
Well, I can see you are pretty excited about that. You're going to find an RC rig to get up there soon?
Yeah, look, we're still waiting on our permits. I've been saying that for a while, but we do anticipate those very shortly. And, we really look forward to getting out there and putting some holes into those, high grade surface mineralisation and seeing what's happening at depth.
Well, you've been extremely busy, but we're running out of time. Todd, what I wanted to hear from you, because my audience out there goes, oh, okay, E2, they've been quietly working away. 3 reasons why they should be sitting up and taking notice of E2M right now.
Yeah, look, I think grade. I think what we've done is we've distinguished ourselves on the ASX as some of the highest grade silver drill hits. 14 metres at 2.5 kilos silver is exceptional. I would say the district potential, we're starting to piece together what seems to be a new gold and silver district with dimensions of 25 square kilometres. So that's similar to other multi-million ounce vein fields in the Santa Cruz province. And, endowment, we're 15 kilometres from Anglo Gold Ashanti's Cerro Vanguardia mine. And, that thing's put out, really high grades for over 20 years. And if we only find a third of that, then, everyone will make a lot of money. So, look, I guess that they are the sort of 3 key points for E2.
Todd, well, listen, let's not leave it so long next time. Come back when you're doing a little bit more, when you've got that rig up at Rio Negro. I want to hear what the layest results are up there. I only gave him 3, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll say the 4th one. And the 4th one is, I think it's pretty exciting that Eric Sprott is really liking what E2M are doing out there and the value proposition that he sees going forward. No fool, Eric Sprott actually spoke at our conference here in Australia, a very smart man who understands gold and silver projects extremely well. So finishing on that note, Todd Williams, E2 Metals, thanks for joining me on Small Caps today.
Thanks, Kerry.